Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Kayla Dolores and you're tuned in to Kayla Dolores TV. So you all, it is Black History Month, okay? It's Black History Month. We are here, we are in February. And I don't know, I was just thinking of content that I wanted to do for this month. And I was talking to my friends and we were talking about podcasts, like different podcasts that we listen to. How I'm really like, well, I've been into podcasts probably the last 2 years. Like driving home from college from Tallahassee, I used to always listen to podcasts. I'm always listening to podcasts, and the other day my friends was like, send me some of your list of podcasts that you listen to. And when I did that, I was like, you know what, I think I want to do a YouTube video on my top 10 Black podcasts that I listen to. I mainly listen to Black people on my podcast, and I was like, what better way to like bring in Black History Month than educating you all about some of the podcasts that I really enjoy by Black people. I'm Black, and I was like, you know what, I think this would be a cool video, and I could probably learn more podcasts that you all listen to. So yeah, if you all want to see this and want to keep watching, yeah, do that. Y'all, I might be talking funny. My wisdom tooth right here is killing me, y'all. I literally go to the dentist tomorrow morning, and it y'all, so if I'm talking like soft or looking like I'm like, yeah, that's why. But no, let's jump into it. So you all, I have 10 podcasts that I really enjoy. Y'all, also a little backstory, this was so hard to pick 10 podcasts. So if you all want a part 2, my hair just, yeah, I had a little curl in here, y'all, but that curl done, you know, she done dropped. And then I have my hair just out in the back. Also, Black owned businesses, support a Black owned business. As you all know, I do have a hair care line, Grandma's Hands Hair Care. It'll be in the description box like always. If you're really trying to get your hair to grow, thicken, all of that good stuff, definitely check out our hair growth oil. Okay, so yes, like I said, this is really hard to do, finding 10 podcasts and not, so if you all want a part 2, I'll do that, because I had to like really, okay, I'm gonna do this podcast, not this one. It was hard. So I kind of broke it up into 3 categories, because these are the 3 categories that I really listen to when it comes to different podcasts. So I have finance, investing, and real estate, kind of one category. Then I have entrepreneurship, and then I have just that feel good, like just fun, soft, like light type of content that I like to listen to, funny, that type of content, like just relatable Black girl type content. So number 1, we're going into the finance, investing, and real estate part for number 1. So number 1 is Black Wealth Renaissance. I love their podcast. I love the interviews that they do on Black Wealth Renaissance. It's also on Revolt. I'll have pictures of each podcast, kind of what it looks like, so when you all look it up or try to find it. But it's basically like 2 Black men, and they do a lot of different interviews on people that are in finance and to real estate. Like the other day I was listening to one, and this man is like really big into apartments. He's like really buying up a lot of different apartment buildings and making them affordable housing for lower income Black families. So I was just like, that's really cool. I just learned so much about different things that are happening in the world, really, when it comes into Black business. So it's called Black Wealth Renaissance. That's number 1. So number 2, what I really like, is called, it's a married couple. It's called Black, Married, and Debt Free, which is a goal of mine, which is a true goal of mine. So I want to be married and I want to be debt free. So I love listening to this podcast. I love listening to him and his wife talk. They really talk a lot about real estate, a lot about investing. Like the last podcast I listened to, like the one that they just posted one today, it says, is real estate investing still profitable as we reflect on the 5 years of real estate as investors? They're also investors, so they always have little gems in here, because in the next year, I think y'all know these interest rates are going crazy, but I'm really learning more about home ownership and just trying to tap into that, investing, just credit, as I'm still in my 20s, and I want to set myself up for success for my 30s and late 20s. So I'm really tapping into that and learning more and trying to better myself, honestly. So Black, Married, and Debt Free is a really good podcast to listen to. Even if you're single, they give so many different gems. Another one, oh, my tooth is like hurting. It's like I'm okay. Back on topic. Another podcast that I love that talks a lot about spending, and they do like different little hacks. Like they were like, the one I just listened to was called credit card balance transfers. Like, say if you have a credit card and you're really trying to pay off that credit card, but the interest rates are killing you. They were talking about how you can do a credit card balance transfer and try to pay that, and try to pay off your credit card basically without having those high interest rates, because you would get a credit card with that's maybe like no APR for the first 22 months and really clear that credit card off. That was one I was just listening to by this podcast. It's called Rich and Regular, and it's by, I don't know if they're if they're together. I think they are, but it's basically like a couple. They do different little hacks and different little finance type of videos. Like one video I see they just posted maybe like 2-3 days ago, it's called the no spend challenges, financial resolutions. They kind of just tell you about things that's going on in the world and in the finance world basically, and I listen to them sometimes. I really enjoyed their podcast. And then number 4 is The Table. Y'all, I always listen to his podcast like all the time. I love his interviews. His name is Anthony O'Neill. He also has a YouTube channel, and that's actually where I found him, on YouTube. And then I realized, my dog, stop. So yes, I really like his podcast. I actually found out about him on YouTube. He was doing an interview that was just so interesting to me. It was the title grabbed me. That's how I know titles are so important with YouTube, because I never heard of him, and the title, I was like, what? She made how much and what? So and since then I've been hooked. So he does a lot about like living a debt-free life, having a what he call it, emergency savings, making sure you have an emergency savings account, just a lot of different finance type content. And he does really good interviews. So the one I just watched not too long ago, he interviewed Erin on Demand. If you all know her on YouTube, I love her channel on YouTube. So that was a really cool interview because I know her content, and then for him to do a collab and interview with her, it was cool to see that insight. So his name, the name of this podcast is The Table. So he like kind of bring the people to the table, talk about different things about finances, about money, about how they're investing, how they're doing this, how they're doing that. So it's really cool. Like the other day he had one about Airbnbs and how it's just really cool. Really cool. He's really big on life insurance and having your life insurance and like wills set up. And even though we're young, I feel like unfortunately like so many of young people are passing away. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. So because he's a young man too, he's not old at all, and it's just really interesting to hear his insight. So again, that is called The Table. So those are the top 4 that I have in the I guess realm of finance, investing, and real estate. Those are like when I'm interested in that or want to hear more about that, those are the podcasts I kind of go to, and so many more, y'all. That's why I said this was so hard to do. because there's so many, like, I kind of wanted to do some that, I mean, I know so many people know about, but not like the huge ones like Earn Your Leisure, like ET. Like, I feel like we all know about them. Okay, so entrepreneurship. So when I need entrepreneurship advice, or I just want to feel pumped up, I listen to Blessed and Bossed Up. Blessed and Bossed Up by Tia, I think her name is. Yeah, Tamia Tatum. Yeah, Tamia. I love her podcast because not only is she an entrepreneur, she's also a woman of God. So I love how she brings it in together, about business and about, you know, stewardship and being a woman of God and woman of faith. I just love how she brings that together. Like, it's just, yeah, I love it. Like, this one of her things said, God-fearing women dominated a male industry. So I guess she was doing an interview. I gotta check that out. I haven't heard that one yet. This one was recorded on January 29th. So yeah, she said the posture of doing business God's way. Like, I just love the different videos she has when it comes to entrepreneurship, but also a faith-based podcast, because as you all know, that's kind of what I strive for, and I try to let my customers know, not only are we a hair care company and a hair care line, have a hair care line, I also want them to know that we also are a faith-based business, because I pray over every order that I send out. I really am trying to bring people to God within the hair care industry, if you will. On every bottle you'll see a scripture on the back of it, and I have that on the back to kind of have people to hopefully look up that scripture and then just grow their faith with God. And yeah, so it's really cool to have a podcast that relates to that, entrepreneurship, and also being a God-fearing woman. Again, that one is called Blessed and Bossed Up. If y'all don't listen to any of these, but you're an entrepreneur and you just want to focus on entrepreneurship, not really finance and not really investing, not really real estate and all of that just yet, Blessed and Bossed Up is the one. Now, the next one is called Girl CEO. I love listening to her podcast. I love her little tag. It's called The Playground for Female Entrepreneurs. I'm like, yes, I want to play. I'm a female entrepreneur. Yes. And y'all see I have on my brown today. I was looking for something black or brown because it is Black History Month. So yeah, just want to put it out there. But yes, Girl CEO. I love this podcast. She does a lot of cool interviews where you'll just be like, oh wow, like a lot of cool interviews. She talks about personal branding. She talks about just improving in business all around. Like, this one is saying it's never too late to bet on you. This one says from a midlife crisis. She just posted this today. Oh, I gotta check this out. And her name is Ronnie Brown, by the way. But she said from a midlife crisis to $1 million brand. Oh, I gotta check this one out, y'all. This one says from a midlife crisis to $1 million brand. Yeah, this was just posted today, so I'm like, wait, what? I gotta check that out. That sounds real interesting. I would love to hear about that. But again, that podcast is called Girl CEO. Girl CEO. Now, the last one that I have in the entrepreneurship space, which this is just for the video because I have, like, you all, I'm like going, like, these are, like, I have so many podcasts. Like, they just go and go and go. So I just had to, like, go to ones that I always listen to. Y'all like this video, please, because I am talking through the pain right now. Woo! Thank God I go to the dentist in the morning. This one is called Girl Stop Playing, and I feel like you all probably know about her. Her name is Coriel. She's been in the business space for a very long time, but I just love her podcast. She talks about a lot of different stuff. She talks about entrepreneurship, but she also interviews people just about life, their life stories, business owners, and just how they are in life, tasks that they do, things that they do to remain successful. yeah, I just love her. It's like the other day she had a podcast about, she was a chef and she was just talking about just different healthy foods that are good for you as an entrepreneur, not just eating everything because you're so busy within your business, but how to actually make nutritious and healthy meals. So yeah, her podcast is lit. I feel like it's all around, but it's mainly focused on entrepreneurship. Okay, now to our feel good. Just want to have something fun to listen to. You might be washing the dishes, you might be cleaning. You're not really like listening to the point where like where you would when it's something about business, but you just want to laugh and just enjoy, you know, that kind of content. So Woman Evolve, like Sarah Jakes Roberts, her podcasts are so much fun to me. Like I love listening to her podcast because yes, she talks about God, of course, but she also is just funny. Like she is so funny. Like Woman Evolve podcast, check it out. It's not as like she's giving sermons or no, she's talking about just like real life stuff. Like let me go to a title so y'all can see the vibe I'm going to, because at first when I saw Woman Evolve I was like, oh okay, are these like her sermons? No. And she does a lot of interviews too. So like this one is talking, she just did one with Kelly Rowland. I didn't even hear this one yet. I gotta hear this one. This one says hope for a new level of self-awareness. So she does a lot of like just life content. It's not it says, let's see, breaking the flow. Like she has some lit stuff on here. Hope for a new perspective of possibilities. Like it's cool. So definitely check it out. Of course she does have, like, I believe she does have some of her sermons on here if I'm not mistaken, but she also does a lot of other different content on Woman Evolve podcast. So that's my 8th one for like just the feel good content. And then one that I've actually it's new, but I've been enjoying it and I feel like I've been listening to a lot of their content lately. It's called Black Girl Flow, and I think they're a newer podcast as well, but it's called the Black Girl Flow. It's like two friends, they're roommates. I think they're around the same age as me, so it's really cool to just hear their perspectives on life. They just talk about really their life. They talk about, this one says going through the lonely blues together, the fear of your own success, manifesting your husband in 2023, finding, it says having sustainable goal setting. It's just really cool. Like we're all, I believe, the same age in our 20s, and it's just cool to hear, you know, a podcast that's so relatable to me, same age, Black women, and just hearing how they're navigating through life basically. And this is the same one for the last podcast, but I wanted to add it because I've been listening to this podcast since college. It's called To My Sisters, and basically I believe they're in the UK. I love their accents for one. I believe they're in the UK. It's Courtney and Renee. And girl, this podcast will have you laughing. Like they have this thing on every podcast called a dilemma, and they read letters from their like just different subscribers, and these dilemmas will have you like, you did what, when, how, and you want advice on that. Like it's so funny, y'all. Like I love To My Sisters. Like it's real cool, and they really have great advice too. They're also, I believe, in the same age as me too, in our 20s and everything, and they're in the UK, so it's kind of, oh Lord, not me losing my voice. Okay, so it's kind of the same, you know, just life, just navigating life, early 20s, like just hearing different women of color outlook on life. So those are my feel good content, feel good podcasts. So that was Woman Evolve, Black Girl Flow, and To My Sisters. And that's it, y'all. I'm gonna run them all down real quick from 1 to 10, and that'll be it for this video. I just wanted to tap into doing some Black History Month type content, and I feel like podcasting is big, but a lot of people don't know about podcasting. Like, I feel like a lot of my friends, they were asking me, so which ones do you listen to? It's so many podcasts out there that I feel like you can kind of get overwhelmed to the point where you're just like, okay, I'm not finding anything that I like, so I'm just gonna turn on some music. But no, I really think you should do this, especially if you want to start a new habit in a new year. Like, when you're driving, instead of just listening to music, listen to a podcast. Like, it's either my gospel music or a podcast. Like, I just love it. I feel like you're driving or you're doing something productive, and then you're feeding your mind and your brain something productive as well, or just something fun, because like I said, I have feel good content too. Okay, so number 1, this was a Black Wealth Renaissance. Number 2 was Black, Married, and Debt Free. Number 3 was Rich and Regular. Number 4 was The Table. Number 5 was Blessed and Bossed Up. Number 6 was Girl CEO. Number 7 was Girl Stop Playing. Number 8 was Woman Evolve. Number 9 was The Black Girl Flow. And then number 10 was To My Sisters. So again, you all, if you all like any of these podcasts or listen to these podcasts, let me know in the comment section below. And if I didn't mention a podcast that you love, that you're really into, put it in the comment section. I'm always interested in learning new podcasts. Like, I really enjoy listening to podcasts. I drive home so much from Orlando to Palm Beach. It's like a 2.5 hour drive. Sometimes I can listen to like 2 podcasts and I just be feeling so inspired. Like, it makes the drive go by so quick too. So thank y'all for working with me with this video. I feel like I have so many issues going on. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye, y'all.